which is really, really unfortunate. But all things considered, without further ado, we're going to be jumping into game number 2 for the lower bracket finals, the final match potentially for this game. Or are we going to see game number 3? Game number 2 is going to be on its way here for the lower bracket finals. And I want to see how they actually pull it off, because as of yet, as you can see, GameLab will be on the blue side and GPX on the red side.
But the funny thing is that despite Fire Emblem being one of the top picks across, right, it's not banned that much. But it's still a really, really good pick. Like how we see how the composition is. It's also a good counter pick against Glue, and also it's a very good team pick. Why do you think Fire Emblem is not banned instead?
Because 1-1 and Joy is just even more broken than that. 1-1 Joy,
Okay.
Definitely one of those heroes that is way much broken. Fanny, definitely, okay, Fanny not necessarily broken completely, but in top tier competitive play, in the right hands, it is just extremely annoying to deal with. So that's one of the reasons why. But when you take that into its factor into its 3 bans, everyone else just needs to ban the other S tier picks, and if you get first picks, I'm gonna take the Faramis. And there are just not a lot of heroes that can deal with the Faramis, right? Just because how it was broken in the previous patch, they nerfed it down a little bit. But the Count Altar, like the moment you lose your first 10 HP, you still have like a 1-ish second iframe to get just completely ignored in terms of overall damage. So that 1 second buys you a lot of time to reset your skills or even extend the fight. Whereas your opponents might be dishing out 0 damage, while after contributing everything on those 10 HPs.
Yeah, we wouldn't get into a better position or even get away.
So the only way that the Count Altar becomes really, really useless is that the moment you lose your 10 HP, your max HP immediately gets chunked down, rather than gives you this 1 second, I would say, suppressed form where you don't take any damage, which is weird.
Well, that's why it's one of the top picks. Yeah, but not one of the top bans. So it's kind of like in between. But it's also a very team-based sort of hero. Like, yes, it enables your other carry heroes or late game heroes, but if they don't work out, you don't work out as well.
I'm surprised Minstar just completely ignored at all. Like, Minstar just so good in all these scenarios right now. I'm really surprised people are just ignoring here. Tank Minstar is just so good. The hooks are really, really disgusting as well. Once you get hooked, there's no way out. It's easy to get out to a certain degree with the Diggy, but GameLab, once again, they'll double down on this Faramis, and GPX gonna be forced to retaliate once again. But the problem is, do they take the Claude as a priority and then take away the Lolita?
Or maybe take away the Lancelot as a priority.
Oh yeah, Lancelot isn't too bad as well, coming from GPX. I think Fredrin isn't too bad if you want to first pick it as a safety net from GPX. Martis isn't too bad as well, considering it was banned off. So looks like you are gonna get a call right there. They are gonna take the Lancelot for now.
Yep, so it's gonna be Lancelot and Lolita. Ooh, taking away 2 heroes that GameLab played really well previously. So that's gonna bring GameLab back to the drawing board. I mean, for GameLab, there's still Valentina that they can pick. It's one of their top picks. They used it well as well. I'd like to see like a Fanny or a Ling, just so they can. Okay, there you go. Thank you so much. So we're gonna see some faster action going to the back line.
Okay, because they picked the Lolita now, they are in a very, very awkward position where, how do we do this? And considering that you drafted the Lancelot, that means there is no way they can actually stop the Fanny unless they go for what? Okay, let's talk about heroes that actually counter Fanny, right? Kufra, Akai, Saber, Paquito. Yeah, technically those are really, really good ones to deal with it. Grok as well. But Grok stolen by GameLab. Kufra, if they draft a Kufra now, where is he gonna play? Because there's a Lolita, there is a Lancelot, jungler as well as roam. If you force the Kufra XP, not gonna be able to roam as efficient. Fanny is gonna be playing on the other side of the map. If you draft an Akai, same thing. Do you play this XP Akai? What value does it bring against another XP laner, such as the Benedetta, such as the Lapu Lapu, Yu Zhong, yada yada. But in this case, going for the Lapu Lapu isn't too bad. But I feel like GPX is in a situation where they could have drafted the Hilda to deal with the to annoy the jungler, but I hate this. Like GPX is in a situation where they have to rely on the jungler just, their marksman not dying. And in this case, Brody pickup is good, but if GameLab bans it, it's tough. Going for a Leslie isn't too bad. Just for the sake of, keeping you with a safety net, I think Moskov has been the go-to for a lot of the players. But no, GameLab, they're just starting to just, set up for this Fanny. GPX, you know what? Force pick the Kufra. Pick a jungle Kufra. You have no choice, but you know what? Just try it. You're not going to have the most efficient farm, but at least you have something to do with the Fanny later stage game.
Yeah, I think right now I do agree that they don't have an answer. Even like the Valentina pick is not going to do anything against the Fanny.
Oh, this is annoying. This,
okay.
I hate this.
Last ban. Alright. They have to.
This is so frustrating. Like, if they go for the Claude, they are going to die. Claude isn't too bad against the Faramis, but the biggest problem is to Fanny. They have no choice but to go for the Moskov. They ban the carry. Safety because of the tankiness, but carry doesn't do well against the Lolita, so I don't think GameLab would even bother to even go for the carry. I wouldn't be surprised if GameLab decides to pull off the Harif in their favor for a gold lane.
Yeah, they can pull off the Harif. Let's see here. They can pull off the Moskov as well if they want to. I would like to say
chops. They've got so many choices now.
Yeah, even Claude.
Nah, Claude is pretty much. I don't think they should go for the Claude at all for GameLab. Like, Terisla ban, ooh, wow. They actually saw how GPX played it on the XP lane, so I guess they don't really want to deal with that because those penalty zones is going to have a very, very strong hard lockdown against the Faramis. So I guess they don't really want to do it. Means Lapu Lapu is going to be the way to go for GameLab, potentially. Might be an XP Grok if they decide to open things up as well. Beatrix is going to be the way to go for GPX. They are going for AoE control, but this Fanny is going to completely destroy this Beatrix.
Yeah, not the best of distance. And the fact that Valentina will be won't be able to keep a good distance as well. So pretty much the distance between Valentina as well as Beatrix will be pretty close by. That is where Fanny can actually like get a 2-for-1 at the same time.
Yeah, I guess that's going to be the case here. Now, GameLab's final drafts here. They need to figure out what they want to do. I think Esmeralda isn't too bad. GPX going for Dirov isn't too bad as well. But yep, like you said as well, they are going to bring the Claude as well as the Benedetta for GameLab. GPX, very, very awkward position. How to deal with these heroes. Final pick, GPX, XP laner against a Benedetta. Not many heroes that can actually deal with this at all.
And have to deal against the Fanny. So right now it does look like they don't have an answer against the Fanny.
I don't see an answer at all.
Not at all? Not even like the slightest wiggle?
Kufra XP is tough. Paquito XP is pretty much okay-ish. But they still need an answer for the Claude as well. So I hate this. Oh yes. Mincitar, definitely a big plus. Finally, pick the Mincitar. I think the Mincitar is the best solution. Yes.
Right.
This is the best that you can ask for. I love it. Finally, first Mincitar off SPS. Did we see a Mincitar yesterday? No, right?
No.
First ever. And it is going to be on an XP lane. I love it. I want to see how it goes. I want to see how GPX plays this. This is going to be a tough game. But I'm extremely excited to see how it happens.
Yeah, glad that they picked the Mincitar. It's not only the first time,
it's funny how I've been talking about a Mincitar for so long, and suddenly I just
right?
completely forgotten about this.
I know, right? Because nobody really picks Mincitar for some reason.
The power impression is broken. It's just broken. But with that being said, GPX fighting for their last tournament lives. At the nick of moment, they were able to clutch it out in the drafts. But is it going to be enough for them to tie the series? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the lower brackets. Game number 2, GameLabs versus GPX. And right from the get-go, I saw how GameLab tried to freeze the lane with the Grok, and he actually missed the timing. He actually missed the timing. But yeah, at the same time, GameLabs, they just want to get an early XP lane for GameLab, whereas GPX, they are going to be in a little bit of trouble.
Some form of jungle invasion here. So Fredo QT just behind Takanega. But nothing's going to stop Takanaga anyway. And now with the purple buff, of course, will give him a lot more mobility across the map to farm a little bit more efficient. But this is where I'm worried, right? I hope that the Minsita pick is planned, like they really wanted to take the pick instead of being forced, and they haven't been practicing it.
It's not that hard to play a Minsita. You just need to land those hooks. And the broken part about the hooks is that you don't really need to aim. You just need to see. Sorry, you still need to aim, but the more people you get, the better it is, because you are gonna help everyone into the vicinity. And once the King Calling comes in, it all comes down to the wombo combo setup. So I guess, you know, it comes down to the hook here. But speaking of hook, that's exactly what it is. You aim a little bit, but even if there's a minion, it's okay. He's gonna go through right there. He's gonna pull everyone. So I guess that's the idea that they can play around with.
Okay, and that's a little bit of preview of how he would play the Minsita, and it was pretty on point there. But Takanaga!
Kribu, he needs to get out. He's forced to flicker as well. Takanaga knows he's holding up his cables. And Kribu forced to use the flicker to back out. So that's going to be the re-engage coming in. GameLab, however, looking for a position to try and contest this. UTZ in a little awkward position. Mod gets a free value damage. Meanwhile, Dockman still not be able to do too much here, as GPX needs to play this a little bit safe. Orange, the turtle already being contested as well. GameLab stealing it before the purple buff? Okay, now he's gonna try and, you know, bait this out, I guess. So GPX not in position yet, though.
Yeah, same goes for GameLab as well. They don't seem to be really interested to go in for it just yet. But they might be interested to go in for the top lane. Siri in position. Ooh.
Now, with that being said as well, you can see first turtle, GameLab's being a little bit hesitant to actually contest this, knowing that if they take this fight wrongly, Ziri is going to have the King's Calling and just completely stop Fanny from doing his thing. So Takanaga looking for a back flank as well. They are going to go force that count outside coming from GameLab, and GPX is going to try and hold a fight. They go in for the pause, and Ray steals the turtle, and now they're all clumped in. But here comes the snipe down as well, but the King's Calling is not going to do him any good. Already expended by GameLab, finds the right moment to strike, and Fredo QT Kribo will be the casualty.
And that small area is the best area for Takanaga, using the Fanny to execute. Just look at how the cables were used. It's like, okay, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, dishing a lot of damage towards GPX.
Oh, the stolen countdown time from Kribo eventually became a setup for Takanaga to snipe them down. Very, very unfortunate. But GameLab now continues with the assault. Here comes Takanaga. GPX needs to protect this, but there's nothing much what can do. And you can see Fredo QT, he's got his shield up, but it doesn't matter. It's a melee. As long as my body touches you, you are taking damage. In this case, GameLab, they have all the space in the world now because of how Takanaga is playing. And GPX playing it a little bit slow for now.
Yep, looks like everyone's kind of chilling, but we don't see GameLab really chilling. Just look at the position of Xbox, Habok. Yeah, hopefully I didn't butcher it. But now he's all the way at the back line.
Oh, look at this. Ziri forcing in very early King's Calling. That's a decent amount of damage, but Havos will gladly trade off objectives before recalling his base. Meanwhile, GameLab in position to force another fight down bottom. So here he goes. Here comes the wall. Dockman thinking about the wall charge. He hesitated, baited this out. But GPX wants to kill off UTZ. Blazing Duet expended as well. Needs to back out for the reset. And that's going to be
here we go.
Takanaga going for the snipe down. Kribu forces the count outer. Is he going to survive? But he's taking too much damage. The tower will take him out. And GPX finally finds the retaliation. Numbral Blast comes in, but Aizawa with the count outer seems alive. Kribu gets bursted down. But here comes the pause. What happened? GPX actually calling for it as well.
When they had the advantage.
When they had the advantage. Very, very weird. But GPX, they got a very, very important kill.
Yes. I think the Fanny kind of overextended.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of a overconfidence there. Even jumping the turret. So, I mean, at this stage of the game, for you to solo jump a target and you're a Fanny, it's not a good idea.
You know, it came down to the timing where the Lolita coming in from Fredo QT was able to bump the Fanny. And because of that minor stun, he could not extend his next cable to pull him down. And that's why he ran into the turret, took 2 hits, and died because of that. So I guess, you know, that was a very, very minor play, but it's still well done for Fredo QT because he was able to bait out that position. So that I would say greediness coming from Takenaga is starting to hurt him. And with him down on this 10 seconds, I feel like GPX has a little bit more breathing room now to scale a little bit better, not being afraid of what this Fanny is going to be doing, especially with the Fanny without a purple buff, or even with the purple buff, needs about 40 seconds, 50 seconds, 1 minute before this next upcoming fight.
Yeah, I think the bigger value for having the Fanny inside that lineup is that when team fights happen, like solo fights, yeah, but team fights. But speaking about fights, we're back in the action.
Yep, without further ado, we do see this fight happening as well. Kribu and Watt pretty much dead here. Not exactly sure what happened, but GameLab, they are gonna be able to get a couple more fights in as well, pulling back the fight. Fredo QT taking a little bit too much here. Total already up for contention, and Takenaga already not having the purple buff, doesn't need it, but considering how they have the positional advantage, GameLab says, you know what, it's mine, it's mine.
Okay, they're still going to continue down there. Just waiting for Aizawa to come in for the backline, and they might go in for the rush, but nope, because GPX, they went back. Backup is here. Raze will be okay.
Yep, and as you can see, GameLab forcing a fight once again. GPX needs to play this a little bit safe. They need to find a way to play around the Mincetar, but every single time, all these objectives has been away from the Mincetar. And it's tough, especially when the Fanny is just fighting across the map, and because of that, now, they're looking for this invades once again. GPX, they're into trouble as well. Counter comes in. Numenor Blast stops them in track. It is going to buy them for more time, but Fredo QT blocking a majority of the damage. He holds on. He doesn't die. The ultimate defense. And now the stolen counter is going to keep him alive, but momentarily. But eventually, they will trade 2 for 2. Kribu now dropping a little bit too low, and it's going to be Yukizi that steals the kill, and GameLab will still come up on top.
There was nowhere for Kiribu to go at some point, but at least they traded back by taking a turret in the middle. And it seems like, so far, Ziri playing the Mincetar totally ignored. But let's check out the highlights again.
Yep, great Numenon Blast coming from Ziri as well. That looked like a lost cause, but because of the shield, it blocks so much damage coming from Yukizi, allowing Kribu to salvage the fight. But eventually, the biggest problem was still the Fanny, right? Look at Takenaga getting freebies after freebies, and they need a fight where Takenaga needs to fight against the Mincetar known as Ziri, and every single time this fight happens, you can see GPX, they're not in a position to do so because he's so busy pushing out the lanes. And now, even here, Kribu got a stolen Fanny out. Not exactly sure what's that gonna do, but pay attention to this. Whenever they see Mincetar on the map and he's in the other side of the map, GameLab decides to pick a fight away from the Mincetar. They're just so smart, just selectively choosing when and where they want to fight.
Yeah, and Mincetar during the late game is pretty much more like a tank initiator sort of hero, so it's not going to deal that much of damage. So they might as well focus onto those that's going to be on the late game side. But GameLab now GPX trying to get that buff, but can they?
You can see even the bottom lane as well, the XP laners are just fighting against each other. And GameLab once again, top turtle coming in. Nuno Blast from Fredo QT is going to come in as well. Takenaga in an awkward position, almost get picked away by the Beatrix, but little did they know, behind him, Darkman is in position to fight this, and they are going to go for the wall touch. Aizawa takes him out. Mistakes from GPX, did not expect him to be there, and now they need to back out. Countouts are coming from Aizawa, keep him alive, and here comes Takenaga with the snipe down. He gets the kill, but Ziri hooks him back, almost kills him, but unfortunately, he will be able to get out. GPX, they are getting zoned out. Voss drops the Electro final blow. Not exactly sure what's gonna contribute, but GameLab will settle with a tier mid one in the middle lane. But Takenaga, he continues to go for kills. He finds one now, looking for even more in these fights.
And we can see the best value of Takenaga is that he works best in this kind of competition together with his teammates rather than him fighting alone. And he's very, very smart at doing that as well. His teammates buy time for him, just stall the opponents. He comes in, snipes, goes back, resets himself, come back into the fight to snipe again. It is just great teamwork in and out for Takenaga.
Yup, GameLab's getting a very, very quick Lord as well. GPX finally has no choice but to concede this fight as well. Fredo QT blocking a little shots as well. Numenon Blast comes in, not gonna do much. Instantly cancels his way through, while GameLab gonna be waiting for the Lord for this coming fight.
right? We can see the orange buff still taken by Ray. So as much as they try to steal it away, but overall you can see the dominance from GameLab. They are just overtaking the jungle of GPX, not allowing them to come out at all.
The dreams of Indonesia making it to the grand final slowly crumbling away with GameLab with a dominating lead once again in game number 2. Can they fight for their lives? Because as of now, it seems like chances are slim as they try to hold on. Tier 2 is exposed. Ray pulling his body here. Aizawa going to clear his way through. Frederick he blocks a couple of shots in, but it is not going to be committing his way through as the Lord is going to be pushing in from the bottom lane. GPX goes for the snipes there. What? Almost getting taken down as well. Takenaga getting a little bit angsty with his energy charges, but he is going to be recalling back. He is going to back off, and now GPX might be able to get a very, very nice hook if they get one at all. Ziri needs to find it, but they will somehow defend against this.
Ooh, okay, yes, defense in the sense of like they cleared off the minion waves, but not really defending against GameLab, because GameLab, just look at this. They are all around. All 3 lanes locked down by GameLab.
Okay, Ziri drops his King's Calling a little bit preemptively, means the Fanny is going to have a little bit more free lane. GPX somehow holds on. Numenon Blast comes in. Here comes the hook. Dogma gets the flicker. And now here comes the counter altar. But they are going for the fight. But Takenaga goes for the back lines. He survives. He gets the kill. He backs out. Crystal still exposed, but the tier 3s still standing. They have to back out. And GPX, they don't have the damage. And GameLab, they somehow manages to get out. And even Ziri with the hook as well. Ziri tried with his King's Calling, but GameLab just mechanically better.
Oh, they have almost no way to deal with the Fanny at this point. Even if they say that, okay, Minsita is the one to deal with the Fanny, we don't see much action from Minsita itself.
Oh my goodness, Minsitar, Corrosion Sight first item, Dominance Eyes, going for the auto attack build there, just to make sure that its King's Calling get a little bit more value. That means it's not super tanky. So that means GPX needs to buy more time. In this case, the King's Calling needs to be so precise to actually punish this. But we do see a fleeting time up on the Faramis. So that is going to be a little bit interesting fact there, where we are going to see a lot of Ghostbusters to actually shut down GPX potentially. But oh no.
Oh, top
lane. That
lane.
being said, top lane as well. Very ballsy plays coming from UTZ. He's got the sprint. But with the Lord going to be out for grabs, second one in the making. GameLab, they have all the time in the world to focus his way through. Here comes the hook, force a premature Cult Altar as a safety net. GPX baits out for a massive spell. But with no Cult Altar, Grippo going for the wall charge. Dogman gets a 2-man, but no follow-up from the Fanny.
Yeah, keep your eye on to Taken. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for a solo Lord at this point, and the rest of them just buy time opening up space. But GPX, they know that they cannot let this Lord go, so they're going to try to challenge it.
They have to go. They really have to go here. No Cult Altar yet. They have to force a fight. But if they die, that means Aizawa gets a very quick one as well. GPX can't seem to find one as well. Here comes a snipe! Takenaga gets scouted out as well. That's huge. But GPX did not getting any value out of this, even though they're doing damage. And GameLab, they're just baiting them out to make a mistake. And this is hurting GPX at every front. And they can't really do anything about this.
And look at how much time Dortmund is buying them. It's like at the forefront, and GPS cannot start onto him. But now they try onto Dortmund, but Dortmund, he has Aizawa together with him. It's not going to be an issue.
Oh no, it's a problem as well. Numenon Blast as when the Cult Altar also going to use his Oh! He's dead, Aizawa! He is going to kill him off. GameLab says you're not getting away for free. What a play from Aizawa. What a play indeed. Kribu, no way home. In this case, Lord getting taken down as well. GPX once again, backs against the wall for Indonesia. It's the defend against this. And Ray now holding on for their lives, secures his purple buff. But GameLab, do they let them off the hook? Yes, they do. Play it safe, play it slow, play it patiently. And GPX still got a lot to work around with here. 11k net worth advantage in favor of GameLabs.
I mean, even at this point, you can see that they have time to play recall in front of their base. So you can see the confidence flowing on the side of GameLab. And they're just waiting for the lot to arrive. But at the same time, they still got to put pressure on the other lanes. Top lane, bottom lane as well.
Zawa getting a little bit of harassments in. He does have the count altar in this next upcoming fight. But here comes the wall. Ziri, he's stuck as well. He's forced to go up with the King's Garling. They go in for the fight. Lord finishes the bombs. Count altar keeps them alive for GameLab momentarily. But they have to back out. But Aizawa, he survives once again. Ray forced to back out. They lose a tier 3. Now the final inhibitor on the bottom side as well. GPX still holding on, but Takenaga looking for a stack. Ray down to his 1 HP. Can they get the kill? He dodges his way through. Havas could not finish the kill, but Fredo Guilty will settle with Aizawa. Now Havas in a stuck predicament, could not get out, and GPX finally finds a moment of brilliance to fight back, and it's not over. GameLab, they lose 3. However, Aizawa is out. Takenaga saves the day once again, stops Gribu in his track, and he's down for the count once again.
Wow, Takenaga coming in just in time, man. Aizawa is still there. He can bail Dogman out though. Takenaga coming into the backline straight away.
Wall charge comes in. They're all clumped in. Takenaga focuses on regular creativity. Count altar coming from Aizawa keeps him alive. Luminous blast disengage. No flicker as they need to back out. GPX play it safe. However, look at Ray.
Close.
He needs his purple buff.
No.
He might die. He steals it. He gets pulled back. He might be dead.
No.
But the save from Ziri is not going to do him good. And that's going to be the jungler down. Ziri trapped in the wall. Gets pulled back. Wall spams coming from Takenaga. He's waiting for it as well. Ziri, does he have the King's Calling? No, he doesn't. And he just doesn't want to take the risk. And now GPX, they will be settling down with Aizawa instead as Takenaga needs to back off. Dogman with the wall charge. Not exactly sure what's going to contribute. They're paying for that, but it's a setup for the Yuktezi. Blazing Duet comes in. GPX needs to run. They're getting picked apart. Kribu buying time, but Yuktezi will be there to finish him off, while the rest of GameLab will push GPX back to the base.
Oh, at the same time, the minions are pushing at the top lane, the mid lane as well. This bottom lane turret will be taken out.
God! Takenaga, risky plays. One will survive, but the wall blocks coming in from Fredo QT will keep him alive, but GPX is holding for their dear lives while GameLab is trying their best to close up this game.
How are they going to come out here? The problem right now is that they don't have anything to do with Takenaga.
Oh my god. That's the thing, right? Like, they need to buy time. Ziri is doing his best, but there's only so much he can do. Like, he's got the dominant size, he's got the Athena shield, he's got the immortality, but eventually he will hit really, really hard. But the problem here is they need to find the perfect catch. In this case, Ray can never get close enough because Aizawa is a big track. But Aizawa forced the count altar, and Ray, he needs to run away. Dogman gonna be looking for the disengage, but he needs to go in for the reset. The Lord still up for grabs, but at the same time, look at this, GPX. He cannot do this, Ray. He needs to get out. He needs to back off. But Takenaga is gonna go in for the chase. He sidesteps his way through, but the Numenor blast comes today. He is gonna be able to get out, but Havas pressuring the top lane, forcing the Watt to stay in the base, means GPX could not commit to that fight, but GameLab will settle with taking objectives for now.
Well, the objective is still open, but GPX not going to let this go. GPX cannot let this go, but at the same time, they're kind of busy at their own base. How are they going to get in right now? Dogman and Aizawa, the duo that's going to tank it.
Oh, it's tough as well. They need Ziri in this fight. Ray, he's buying a lot of time, but eventually he needs to get out. GameLab still looking for the punish on towards Ray for now. He's holding with his dear life. He's got the Sky Gun and helmet, but eventually one lockdown is all he needs. In this case, they go for the wall charge for Gribu. They get Aizawa. No count altar. Huge for GPX, but GameLab, they have to back off. Aizawa, he doesn't have his passive abilities. He's not going to be able to join this fight. Dogman needs to run away, and GPX is going to give case here, but is he going to go? He can run for it, but he doesn't have the damage. Surprise! Here's Takenaga! Monster kill for the Fanny. Wow, they lose Aizawa from the beginning of this fight, but GPX, they are showing signs of making a comeback.
Ooh, but then again, they trade off back and forth right now. Even Ray got taken out. But at the same time, they gotta be worried. Their eyes will be looking at the minimap to ensure that the minions are not too close to their base. But look who's here.
Oh, Take Naga once again going to be cutting back. Flying, but the King's gone and catches him. He's stuck. Where's
Blazing
the counter? They need someone to save him. It's going to be Aizawa to save him after the immortality. It is going to get out. Take Naga will settle with Fredo QT. He will try to kill off the Lolita. And yes, he will fall. And GameLab, they managed to close him out. It's only what left? 1v5. And GameLab destroying the homes of Indonesia. Potentially, Ray is still alive. They're focusing the minions. One with his winsome nature, he's got the sustain, but he's not gonna do it enough. Ladies and gentlemen, GameLab has done it. Your second grand finalist for the Snapdragon Pro Series.
Well, looks like we're gonna see a repeat between Euphoria Esports and GameLab in the grand finals happening later on. And it's gonna be an all-Filipino grand finals again. Well, this round, all I can say is that GPX had no answer to the Fanny.
GG, well play to both GameLab as well as GPX, but GameLab with a very, very convincing victory against GPX. Meanwhile,